developer of Cøllaþs Lagos 21-story building, Femi Osibona, was Vice President Osinbajo'S cousin, Dele Momodu. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. In an opinion article titled "The Unsolvable Jigsaw of the Ikoyi Tragedy," Momodu said the deceased was an ambitious man and not the greedy, avaricious person that his producers now suggest he is. Now the news in detail. Journalist and writer Dele Momodu says the late Femi Osibona, owner of Foursquare Homes and developer of a 21-story building that collapsed in Lagos, was a cousin of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. On Monday, the building located in Gerald Road, Ikoyi, Lagos, collapsed, killing over 40 people, including Osibona. In an opinion article titled "The Unsolvable Jigsaw of Ikoyi Tragedy," Momodu said the deceased was an ambitious man and not the greedy, avaricious person that his traducers now suggest he is. He added that Osibona, despite being a cousin of Vice President Osinbajo, never sought or got any government contracts. "I had known Femi for over 20 years in London as an extremely gifted marketer. Femi's tongue was honey-coated, and it was impossible not to like him," Momodu said. "We lost touch after I ended exile and returned to Africa, but he soon traced me to Ghana and he came visiting. He was so happy to reunite with me. He told me how God has blessed him mightily and had made him very into real estate in London. Femi was a genius who made stupendous gains from regenerating ghetto neighborhoods in East London. He regaled me with tales of his exploits in the property business. He promised to build the classiest residential apartments in Africa. He said he was out to prove there was nothing the multinational construction companies were doing that his company cannot do. I have never seen a level of audacity, determination, and tenacity." Foursquare was a visionary and a missionary when it came to seeking to excel and to do as well as his international counterparts at home and abroad. He had competed in their space in their countries before with moderate successes and did not see any reason why he could not replicate the same and attain loftier heights in his home country. If he made any mistake, it was probably that he overstretched himself, but he was such an ambitious man, full of faith, and certainly not the greedy, avaricious person that his producers now suggest he is. In our country, mistakes are never excused, forgiven or forgotten. When you fail, you're a villain and an outcast. When you succeed, you're a hero, genius, and superstar. Momodu said the inquest and investigation ordered into the incident should be done diligently. It may be painstaking and thorough. Such investigation cannot last 30 days as being directed by the government. I foresee that any credible inquiry must take months of arduous, diligent work. Various possibilities, including negligence, sabotage, and even natural or human causes, such as the overdredging occurring in that vicinity, must be considered. Dead men tell no tales. They cannot defend themselves, but records and logic abound, he added. Those making claims and allegations which were easily rumpled will soon be exposed. I had known that in February 2020, the third block was at the beginning of the foundation stage, and the two other blocks were merely a few stories gone. It is interesting that nobody who had any misgivings reported such to the regulators. I say no more other than it is always convenient to cast aspersions when it seems there is no potential for the reply. What I know is Foursquare was a self-made man who depended on no godfather. Despite being a cousin of a vice president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, he was too proud and self-reliant to approach the vice president or anybody else for favors of that kind. He never sought for or got any government contract. He relied on his own ability, marketing, skills, and funds. Okay. In the previous information getting towards, people were beginning to pass comments that he was greedy and he was told not to do this or that. And I was not saying, if you go down history lane, check those who started flying the plane. I'm sure then if they had told some people, I have the vision to bring out, an object that will fly in the sky and be conveying human and goods from one place to another, the whole world will look at them as stupid as at that century. Of course, they'll be seen as these guys are really, really crazy. Of course. But what happened? It happened. What about the bulb, the light bulb? I'm sure if you had said, oh, you want to connect, and at the end of the day, it gives you electricity, they would also be as referred to as somebody who does not have sense, who is going crazy. The same thing happened to the person who brought out the radio now, connecting or connecting energy via sound, and at the end of the day, you get your radio talking. You get pictures on your television. All those things were inventions that challenge status quo. In those days, I'm sure people would have looked at them as totally stupid and wasting out their time, but they knew what they were doing. They did not give up. You're going to hear stories in history line about some of them who hit the bar. Some died and people came after they died and continued from their work. And at the end of the day, they became, they actually came up with that initial, doing of the person that passed away. That is what happened. If you're pursuing greatness, or if you're pursuing, what's it called again? If you're pursuing ambitions, or you want to challenge status quo, I'm telling you, the world is going to be against you. The only time they are not going to be against you is at the end. They're not going to cheer you on, but I tell you that if you persist to the end, what is going to happen is that they will start, cheering you up. That is when you have gotten to your destination. And I'm sure this is the big picture late Mr. Femi Osibona was saying that others are not saying. And unfortunately now, it has crumbled. In Nigeria, just like the writer said, mistakes are not pardoned. Like we act as if we are gods here. Nobody should make mistakes, Everybody is perfect and righteous. But that is not supposed to be the case. We are humans and there is possibility we could err. That is why those that brought out the quote, to err is human and to forgive is divine. So Mr. Femi Osibona is not even here to even defend himself against all this,